Top Media is back. Yes, we're back after a long break and we'll be bringing you the best top 5, 10, 15s and more on YouTube. For a second I thought you forgot about us. Well, you're not getting rid of me that easily. Anyways, thanks for all the subscribers who've decided to stick around and enjoy. Oh, and don't forget to support us on Patreon if you like, which we finally got around to launching. A link is in the description. Check it out, it would be very much appreciated.
When a 14-year-old Indian boy was rushed to a hospital due to pain in his nether regions, doctors performed an ultrasound to check for blockages. To their surprise, they discovered a 1-inch long fish lodged in his bladder. The Candiru fish are known for their fondness for swimming up human urethras, but this particular boy hadn't been anywhere near its native Amazon basin. While cleaning out his fish tank, he had felt the need to go to the toilet. Keeping the fish in his hand while he urinated, it escaped and jumped up his urethra, allegedly. What's worse than having a tick inside your ear? Also having a live moth in there keeping it company. When Michael Gorman was celebrating a friend's birthday party in a local barn, he had been having a good time for the first half hour before a moth flew into his ear. As he tried to remove the winged insect, he only succeeded in pushing it further down his ear canal. Friends eventually used tweezers to get it out, and found a tick lodged in there as well. When 28-year-old Aratom Sidorkin started to experience extreme pain in his chest and began coughing up blood, doctors assumed the cause must be lung cancer. X-rays of his chest confirmed the worst, showing what looked like a tumor. Before removing part of his lung, the operating surgeon took a biopsy and found the tumor to actually be a fir tree. Sidorkin had somehow inhaled a seed which had sprouted inside his lung. The pine needles were piercing his capillaries, causing him to cough up blood. When a 59-year-old chef in Sichuan, China, went to the local hospital complaining of stomach pains, dehydration, and severe rectal bleeding, doctors were at a loss to explain it. Assuming the most likely cause to be some form of cancer, they performed an exploratory laparotomy. Upon opening the man up, they discovered a 20-inch long Asian swamp eel in his rectum. It turned out that after the man had passed out during a night drinking with friends, they thought it would be funny to insert the eel into his anus. When Australian Dylan Maxwell was on vacation in Bali, he noticed a long red mark originating from his recent appendix scar and traveling up his body. Local doctors assured him it was from an insect bite and prescribed him antihistamines. After applying the cream, the area started to blister. Maxwell returned to the hospital, where they performed more tests and eventually discovered the cause to be a tropical spider that was moving under his skin. It had entered through the fresh appendix scar and had been living inside him for 3 days. When staff of the Lutheran Home for the Aged noticed 92-year-old Catherine McCann scratching her ear, they initially didn't think too much of it. The Alzheimer's sufferer had an enlarged ear canal from surgery performed decades earlier, and it often became infected. After it became apparent that McCann was in more discomfort than usual, she was taken to a hospital. It was there that doctors discovered 57 maggots living inside her ear. It's thought a fly may have gotten into McCann's ear while she was outside, and that the maggots had been living there for 3 days. Botflies are pretty unpleasant. Some species deposit their eggs onto other insects, such as mosquitoes, which then get passed into humans when they're bitten. Once inside, the larvae develop over the course of 8 weeks before bursting out of the unfortunate person's skin. In rural Honduras, a 5-year-old boy was discovered to have one of these late-stage larvae growing inside his eyeball. It was removed under general anesthetic by making an incision in the conjunctiva and was found to be ½ an inch long. When a Chinese man living in England visited the hospital complaining of headaches, seizures, and memory loss, doctors performed an MRI scan. This revealed what appeared to be a cluster of lesions in his brain, and they were moving. After testing the man for several diseases with no success, a 2012 biopsy showed up the remains of a 4-inch ribbon-shaped larval worm. Once diagnosed, the man was easily treated with drugs to kill the parasites. Only 300 cases of this kind of tapeworm infection in humans have been reported since 1953. They can be picked up from eating infected reptiles and crustaceans, or, as is the likely case of this man, from using a Chinese poultice for sore eyes made from frogs. When a 63-year-old South Korean woman was enjoying her partially cooked squid, she got quite a surprise when she bit down and felt a prickling, foreign sensation. After this developed into severe pain, she spat the squid out, but it was too late. It turns out the sperm sac of the squid had burst as she was eating, and the spermatophores had penetrated the mucous membranes of her tongue, cheek, and gingiva. Doctors had to remove 12 small bug-like organisms from her mouth. This was not the first case of a raw squid attempting to inseminate a human's mouth. Another patient had the offending cephalopod sperm bag thrust into the inner lining of the roof of their mouth. Sanju Bhagat had always been self-conscious about his big belly. The resident of Nagpur, India, had a stomach so swollen he looked 9 months pregnant. Then, in June 1999, he began struggling to breathe and was rushed to a hospital. Upon seeing his enlarged gut, doctors assumed it to be a tumor and decided the best course of action would be to operate and remove it. When they cut him open, the surgeons were amazed at what they found. A load of bones, limbs, a jaw, genitalia, even fingernails and hair. It was the remains of his parasitic twin. Fetus in fetu takes place in early twin pregnancy when one twin envelops another. The trapped fetus survives as a parasite even after birth. Bhagat's twin had connected directly to his blood supply. After 36 years, it had grown so big it was crushing his diaphragm, causing extreme breathing problems.
That's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching another Top Media video. Don't forget to hit that very important bell icon, the subscribe button, and to support us on Patreon. As they say, pennies make pounds, and your support would go a very long way for our channel.